Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, do me a huge favor and click that subscribe button down below for content like this and many more. For all your current subscribers, I just want to continue to say thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. What do I have next to me? Well, this is a treat for you guys. This is the 2023 Ford F-150 Raptor R, the bad one. This has 700 horsepower and 640 pounds-feet of torque. I'm gonna talk about it. I've been living with this vehicle for the past week. Thank you, Ford, once again for allowing me to test these vehicles in my home test area. Stay tuned, that is coming up next. Okay, let's talk 2023 Ford F-150 Raptor R. This is the R because it has a 5.2 liter V8 supercharged that makes 700 horsepower and 640 pounds-feet of torque. Made it to a 10-speed automatic, and this is the beast one. But if this is too much for you, you can get the base model, and I say base in quotation because it's ridiculous anyway. It looks identical to this, minus the 37-inch tires, which I'll show you guys in a second. But it looks identical, but it has 450 horsepower and 510 pounds-feet of torque from a twin-turbo V6. But this one is the most expensive one, and it's $111,000. You heard that correctly, 111 grand for this monster truck. And as you can see, the lights turn on because it notices that I have the key, and those yellow lights are for, not just for looks, are for regulation, those certain lights. And of course you have bright orange daytime running lights because it's this the Raptor, and there's more of that regulation lighting on the side. Full LED headlights, high and low beam. They're adaptive with dynamic bending technology. You have off-road rigid lights right here. They're very bright. You have a second set here that you can activate later on when you need it. Parking sensors in the front, full steel bumper. You have this massive Raptor grille with the giant Ford written out, spell out. And you have this nice decal here that reads supercharged V8. And you see a bunch of little 8s all over the place because this is the V8 one. And Ford wants you to know that. And I'll show you guys the engine in a second, but let's just go over the outside of this beast. And there they are. BF Goodrich KO2s, 37-inch tires on 17-inch B-Lock wheels. They are absolutely massive. You can pretty much go straight from the showroom floor out to the dunes and race and Baja. Whatever you want to do with this truck, it can do it. It does have adaptable Fox suspension, which they're in there, of course. You probably can't see them. This air vent is actually functional. You have a nice, huge power bulge on the hood that says Raptor R in red. Mirrors are fully adapted. The mirrors are power folding, heated, of course, turn signals. You have this massive metal side step. And walking around this thing, it's insane. And you have more of that giant decal, which comes standard on the Raptor R. I believe you can get it without this. And of course, this is orange metallic, and more of that little Easter egg there with all the 8s Raptor R here. And this thing is a monster. So let's see if it lets me do it, because sometimes the remote start doesn't want to cooperate. But here we go. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's the sound of a 700 horsepower V8. It is insane, and you will definitely wake up the neighbors when you turn this thing on in the morning. But let me turn that off so I can hear myself speak. But anyway, the main question you guys have is, can you do truck stuff with this? Yeah, sure. You can open up the tailgate right here by clicking on this button right here twice. And in my particular case, this is the most truck stuff I'm going to be doing, is lugging 4 tires for my 2009 Hyundai Elantra. But talking of the bed, so full bed liner here. You do have LED lighting in the bed. You do have a 400 watt inverter right here. As you can turn on the lighting. And you have a little power sliding window there. You can control it from the interior. And if you're at the campsite or work site, whatever, you got your little pen holder here. You have a ruler. If you wanna, measure stuff and cut things. You do have a step to get in, which is nice. You pull this out here, and you can hold on to this right here and step into this tailgate and get in with no problem. Put it down, you just press this button here, lower it like so. Then you do the second one. If I'm trying to do this with one hand, let's see if I can do it. And push it in like so. Pull this guy up and touch the button on the tilt, and there she goes and closes up. All right, let's take a look at the heart of the beast. Then we go inside, talk about the tech, all the features, and then we go for a final drive. Stay tuned for that. Okay, let's take a look at this massive engine under this super truck, as I'm gonna call it, because it definitely is a super truck. Let me try to open that up here. A little difficult to do with one hand. And there it is. Ford calls this motor the Predator V8. This engine is shared with the Mustang GT500. In this application, it was detuned to 700, like I mentioned, and 640 torque. They adjusted the supercharger a little bit and the pulley for more low-end torque, because of course it's a truck. At the end of the day, this is a pickup truck, and there it is, the heart of the beast, the massive 5.2 liter V8. And this thing does 0 to 60 in about 3.7 seconds. And let me remind you guys, this thing weighs 6,000 pounds. Massive air duct right here because it needs all the air. And you do hear the supercharger whine, subtle, but you do hear it. All right, let's take a look at the interior and the tech, and then we go for our final driving thoughts. Stay tuned for that. Okay, let's step inside this giant orange monster truck. Okay, you can get in two ways, with the key, of course, or you just put your hand on the door handle. The mirrors power unfold. And let's take a look at the interior. And stepping in here, it's a mixture of nice materials and sporty materials. So you do have this kind of hard and soft material on the doors with the orange stitching here all around the side. This is real carbon fiber. You do have piano black, unfortunately. You do have nice silver Bang & Olufsen sound system, and it has speakers all over, including the ceiling. Right here, the front, there's two speakers there. Massive panel sunroof, which I'll go over in a second. Nice Ford performance door still. The seats are fully powered. These are Recaro seats, nicely bolstered. There is speakers in both headrests, which is crazy. And before we step in, these are all the controls, of course. You got your lighting controls, dimmer, bed lighting, mirror lighting for the zones. You can open and close the tailgate from here. Electronic parking brake on and off. And power adjustable pedals, which you can adjust them like so. If you are somebody short, you can pretty much drive this car with no problem. Nice little pocket hole right there. And let's step inside, and it's definitely a height because this thing is 13.1 inches off the ground, and it's pretty high. So let's turn this sucker on so you guys can hear it, what it sounds like and looks like in here. And there's a look at this full LCD cluster. This is the standard 12-inch screen that comes with all four Raptors. This, of course, has full automatic climate control, heated and cool front seats, wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. This button here controls the front camera, and you can cycle through all of them. So you can press this button here. This one gives you the 360, which is in the current view right now. This one gives you a wide angle for the front view. This one, you get all the mirrors and the front stitch. This one is the bed cam. As you can see, my tires are in the trunk. And trailer, if you have a trailer hooked up, it'll show you the trailer. This is for the hitch, so when you're backing up, you can definitely see what the trailer is doing, and you got trajectory lines. So pretty much you got cameras galore in this thing. You could do just, let's see, this one, it's a regular backup camera, and you can also do the mirrors, I believe. Let's see here. So in this little top-down view, you can click on this magnifying glass like so, and you can do this, and you can see the sides of the truck. Very useful, especially if you're not used to driving something this big. And just press on this, and then you could do the same for pretty much all over the truck, which is pretty cool. It's a nice cool feature. There's a back, you can see the back of the truck there. And of course, going over the modes, so this vehicle has multiple modes that you can set it to. So right now it's in normal mode, and you go in here, this is the mode selector here. So you have normal, you have sport, and it starts shifting into 4 high, and the exhaust gets louder. A little difficult to pick up on camera because it's actually very quiet in here. And you do have, of course, you got tow and hold mode if you're towing with this thing. And see, as you can see, the screen starts changing a little bit here and there depending on the mode. Then you have normal and off-road mode. Then it's shifting into 4 high right now, and it's just giving you all these warning messages. And then you got full Baja mode, and this is the insane bat crazy version, bat crazy mode of the truck, and you see everything changes. And then you have rock and crawl mode, which it tells you to shift it into neutral to go into 4 low, because to go into 4 load, and I can just feel it right now. Put it into drive, it's definitely in like beefy mode. But putting it back to, yep, that's fine. Yeah, it actually did shift it into 4 high, and as you can see, the screen changes and it gets like orange and mean. And going back to just the normal mode, let's go back to normal mode. It's probably gonna take me, yep, to put it in neutral. There it goes, and it's shifting back to rear-wheel drive mode. This is your trail brake controller. This is the trail assist. One little neat trick that I think every F-150 does, the shifter has a little trick. So you press this button right here, and it completely hides away, which is pretty cool. And then this center console, you turn it into a nice little table. Put your laptop here. You do have power outlets, so you got the traditional household style outlet here, cigarette style outlet right there, dual cubbies. You got that one cubby there, and you got the main cubby right there. So space galore. You do have, this vehicle does have USB A and USB-C charger right there, and wireless charger right there. Heated and cooled seats, like I mentioned. This is running Sync 4, Ford Sync 4 on this particular trim. The other non-Raptor models, you get the latest version with the vertical screen that takes over the center console, kind of similar to the F-150 Lightning. This is a trail turn assist right there. You do have a little cubby right there, the center channel for the Bang & Olufsen sound system. And let's take a look at the back seat, and then we go for a final drive. Stay tuned for that. Okay, let's take a look at the back seat. And like I mentioned, this thing is definitely a high climb, so these bars will come in handy because you can just grab on and step in, but you do have a giant metal step. And nice that it continues in the materials continue in the back. Same materials in the front. You got that orange stitching, more of that carbon fiber, more of that piano black, massive pockets on the door. You do have a cup holder here. This thing has cup holders galore. And before I step in, of course, being a truck, you can pull this little tab here and you can lift the seat up. Both of them, you have large cargo. So you can use it like a traditional pickup truck, because it is, at the end of the day, at heart, an F-150. that happens to have 700 horsepower. All right, stepping inside, and this is where it becomes hilarious because I am 5'8" and I have room for days. I mean, look at this thing. I can literally stretch out here and take a nap. You do have LED lighting all over the cab. This does have a panel sunroof, which, let me see if I can open the shade and see. You guys can see the massive shade opening, and that's not all the way back. Let me just put it here so you guys can see what that looks like. And it opens up the cabin and literally goes all over the back seats. There's a look at the command center with nice beefy steering wheel. The seats back here are heated. You got climate vents, more cup holders in the center, giant pockets behind both seats, heated 2-level heating for the seating back here, more power port, more traditional household style outlet here. Excuse me, cigarette style outlet right here. You do have more USB A and USB C, and another inverter outlet back here. And that's pretty much it back here. You can lower the center armrest, and you got, of course, more cup holders. And this little window is power operated, which gives me control from the front. Press this button here, and you can kind of take a little peekaboo at what you have in the bed. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the seating in here. Pickup trucks are huge, and this is the reason some people use this thing as a family vehicle. Not exactly this version, because this version is very powerful and very expensive, but nonetheless, it's still huge. And before I go on the drive, these are Raptor exclusive switches here, so you can plug in winch, extra lighting, pretty much whatever you want. Ford gives you all the pre-wired and ready to go, and they light up at night, which is kind of cool. All right, folks, let's go for a quick drive of the F-150 Raptor R. Stay tuned for that. All right, let's drive the Ford F-150 Raptor R. And for this video, I would put it in normal mode, put the exhaust on sport, which I don't know if you guys are going to be able to pick that up on camera. And let me close the shade a little bit because it is a very, very hot day. Okay, that's good. And this thing, it's just insane. It's just insane. This trip vehicle will basically make you laugh, make you smile, because it is a very ridiculously fun vehicle that you can have a lot of fun driving around, and you'll get a kick out of impressing your friends and family, because it's crazy. It's crazy how capable this thing is. And definitely anything in the Ford world that has the word Raptor in it is definitely the best of the best when it comes from Ford. And this thing is insane. It's laughable. I mean, of course, I'm in local road here. Sadly, I don't have any off-road course near me, so I can't really go having some fun and jumping it and doing the things that I would love to do with it. But it's touching just while I have somebody in front of me that I can't open it up. But driving it is a very comfortable driving vehicle. It doesn't beat you up. It feels like you're driving a giant, wide and tall SUV for the most part. It doesn't feel, like lumbering, like like traditional back in the day pickup trucks. The 37 tires are definitely there. They're loud. You definitely hear them. But this truck has, from what I can pick up, it has excellent sound deadening materials, because it is very quiet in here. I don't know if the exhaust is being picked up on camera. I'm sure it is, but you only, of course, hear it in the back, being that you're driving something this big. And let's see if I get into the highway here. and just stepping on it. Woo! Just stepping on this thing, it is insane. Whoa, this is crazy. But this truck is definitely a super truck. Ready to race off the showroom floor. If you have $111,000, where there's a big promotion that you just got, you hit some lottery money, whatever the case may be, and you want to treat yourself and you don't want to go electric just yet, this and of course the Ram TRX is one of the two best choices when it comes to performance trucks on the road, period. I haven't driven the Ram just yet. I will be driving it shortly, soon, so stay tuned for that. Hit that subscribe button so you can for more content. But this thing is it just makes you smile. It just makes you smile. You feel like you own the road, that you're powerful. And then when you don't want to drive it like a madman, you put it in quiet mode and it becomes ridiculously quiet. Like you don't even hear the engine when you're driving it. It's comfortable. It is very capable, this vehicle, but the only thing that people have to understand, and I say this as somebody who just reviewed this, you can't get confused by the power, the acceleration, and thinking you can drive this like a sports car, which this is not a sports car. It's a sport truck, meaning you have to watch out for, of course, the height. You can't hit a curve at 90. You can't be swerving and passing people too fast because you will tip over, and this thing is high off the ground at 13 inches off the ground. It's not going to behave like a car. But anyway, this has been my full review of the F-150 Raptor R. Thank you again, Ford, for allowing me to review this phenomenal vehicle in my home test area. It's been so much fun. People definitely noticing me driving this thing around because it's I call it subtle orange because subtle is not. But then again, sorry if I'm rambling on here. Thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you all on the next one. Take care and stay safe.